All right, and welcome. I should be audible, maybe. I will see in the chat if people are like, ah. Okay, I see Sonard. Hi. Thanks, Sonard. Yo, welcome
Hello,
to
yes.
Supernova. Yeah, that's Eternal. I I am Chaco. I am not present in the Discord. I said that one GIF one time.
Is
I
it true?
do graphics and stuff, and I'm perpetually more busy than Eternal, hence why you don't see much of me. But we're both here today to host the draw. And yeah, Eternal is here.
Yes, hello. I am Eternal. I am a person that you are more likely to know as the one that has invited you all. But yes, we are here to host the yearly draw of the first round of the Supernova 16. As a reminder for how this works, the top 32 players have already been placed into the bracket in accordance to PB to make it relatively fair. And now the unseeded players, the bottom 32 people by PB, are on that very wheel, and their fates will be decided right here, where they'll be facing these fellas. Now, you may not recognize these profile pictures, but we'll make sure to, of course, point out who everybody is, give you a little bit of information about them, and, hopefully have a generally good time here for what, maybe biggest supernova.
Yeah. Should be what do we think? Maybe like around an hour, a little less probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean we don't have to do the draw. Like we could just do it and then post it. But like that's not as cool. I think it's cooler to make it an event. It's like
Yeah, that
everyone
way,
goes, watches, find out who they lose to. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
Upsets happen. But yeah,
By the way, I'd just like to initially state while we were on the waiting screen, Elosion did gift 5
yes,
subs, and I think somebody else also subbed, but we were kind of setting up a chat there, so I'm not 100% sure who did, but we appreciate you a lot. Uh,
yeah. Thank you very much.
for your
We
support,
we
and we'll
do
make sure to sort it
yeah.
out.
Um, we do have a different plan. We have a prize pool
Yes.
this tournament if you haven't heard. So we're not sure what we're gonna do about the subs. Definitely we're gonna get a link. I mean, I have a link, but I haven't tested it, and I don't want people to like donate money to PayPal. So we're gonna test it out for the prize pool, but I think we might throw in probably the subs as well because I think that'd be cool. Because I don't really care about getting money personally. So if we could figure that out, that would
Yeah,
be
we will.
cool.
Yeah, we will try possible to get subs and other things as well. Involved in the prize pool, if possible, as well as the donation link, which should hopefully be open by the time of the first match. But we'll let you know more specifically when the prize pool that will go to the top 5 will be there, because the $200 advertised only goes to first place, to the big old winner.
Yeah, everyone else who comes like top 2 to 5. Uh, your fate is in the hands of the masses, I guess.
Yes,
So, yeah,
or yourself if you
this is
donate a
true.
lot of money.
I mean, if you like donate,
We got top
you can.
5 and then donate a lot of money. You would be losing some, but
Yeah, I
I do want to
suppose.
point out that option. You-
Um, One thing to mention, actually, I'll just like introduce. I think Eternal, you've been kind of the spearhead of this one, so you can take it over. But we do have a couple players from Japan, so we have something to say about that.
yes, I would like to say that the matches that feature Japanese runners, depending on the schedule of the people over on the SM64 Japan event channel, will be showcased over there as well. If you don't know, the SM64 Japan event channel is a channel run by a couple of fellows from the Japanese community, which is a kind of a hub for their own events and draws and tournaments. We have collaborated due to the involvement of more Japanese players than usual in this Supernova with the lovely Hero. And hopefully some restream watch parties will be available in Japanese there as well. So just pointing that out as a thing that should hopefully happen for some well time zoned Japanese matches, depending on, of
Yeah.
course, when they end up scheduling them.
I mean, time zone mightn't work out sometimes, but hopefully from time to time it will. So, yeah, I think that's about it, probably.
Yeah, I think we can probably get started with
Get
our
going.
draw, don't we think? Actually, you know,
Perchance.
get to drawing people. What do you think?
Okay, so yeah, the way this is gonna work is I'm just gonna click the thing, and then the wheel's gonna spin. This is of course wheelofnames.com. I think anyone can recognize it.
Yes, the
Classic,
famous one.
very reliable website. Yeah, I'm just gonna spin it. We're gonna get a name. I'm gonna remove the name from the list, and we're gonna talk about the people. And yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen. So, first up, this black square is Kano, if you didn't know.
Yes,
So,
Kano, which is number one seed in the tournament. Also, the former world record holder in all of the short categories. And, for a moment in 2021, really was a contender for GOAT status, I would say. Kano is currently planning on improving on all of his PBs this very year, and has already partaken in a couple of LTA events in the years past, back in the prime. But, will the number one seed be able to showcase that same talent in a race main bracketed event? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Who is Kano going to get in round one here?
all right, let's see. Ooh. Okay, that's gonna be two porridge.
All right. Two Porridge is the runner that has been drawn to face Kano. Two Porridge is a quiet runner, doesn't have a very strong presence nowadays, was mainly active during the 2020-2021 period, but then afterwards, has taken some breaks, come back, taken some other breaks, appeared momentarily to get some PBs, and I don't think we've ever actually seen Two Porridge in a tournament environment before, or at least in a
Damn,
very long time. So this might be the tournament where we discover what Two Porridge is all about.
that's
And
a
it's a tall order
that's a bit of a trial by
against
fire.
against the Cano,
Just get
but
dropped
of
in the
course, good
Kano.
luck.
All right, well, yeah. The rest of the chats there are funny. Kiara escaped their life there. All right. Next up, we have Sigotu.
Yes, Sigotu, who by many is given the title of the best keyboard player. Sigotu at one point held the 70-star and 120-star emulator world records for very long stretches of time, even years, but nowadays hasn't kept up with it. However, despite not really having kept up with speedrunning, his skill has grown with many different ROM hack playthroughs and speedruns. He currently holds every single Super Mario 74 world record, and in just 1 week of coming back to 16 star for preparation for this tournament, has already showcased that additional skill by getting two different PBs and becoming a seeded player. Who's he gonna get?
All right, let's see. That is going to be pretty squarely on Everchicks.
Ooh, Everchicks. So, Everchicks is a primarily 70-star focused Japanese runner and streamer. However, is one of the more watched Japanese runners if you exclude the ones that are, chasing world records and have built an audience off of that. Well, 70 is the focus that Everchicks does. Everchicks, which has improved by over 10 minutes in 70-star in the past year. There has still been time in the midst of that incredible 70-star progress to improve their own 16-star PB by 20 seconds. So it's been proven that with a grind, Everchase can definitely reach new heights and the peaks that we have not quite seen before. So it'll be interesting. Of course, facing seed 32 here could be an interesting
Yeah.
matchup.
It's always nice to see the newer, well, not newer. You're either kind of newer or not. New people in the tournament. It's always exciting. You know, some people come back, some people don't. It is how it is. You gotta fill them in with new people. All right. Next up, we have Fixius.
Yeah, Physius, who in the past Supernova tournaments, maybe it was perhaps considered an outsider. However, he has made in his appearances become a very difficult player to eliminate. It's been very difficult to eliminate him because he plays this low risk style that makes him difficult to upset if you're a lower seed. But he's got a very high level of consistency when given that LTA time, which means that he's capable of skating by many rounds. He's kind of unnoticed, or never at top, but never really fearing elimination. How far can he go with this improved lineup of players? I don't know. Let's see who's gonna face.
All right, that's also going to be a pretty resounding rosacea with alliteration there, going against Physius.
All right, Physius drawn here against Rosacea. Now, Rosacea is one of the two UK runners from this tournament, and one who is primarily, actually mainly interested in doing Ocarina of Time speedruns, plays it very consistently and has times in majority of the categories. However, still does hop on to Mario tournaments relatively consistently. So even though we're mainly playing this tournament for fun, let's see if fun may win us some matches and get us some upsets.
Let's go. All right. Next up, we're going to have Spooky.
Yeah, Spooky. Spooky, has got some good speed and some good solidity. Debuts in his first eligible Supernova already with a 15-18, and that those may not even be the heights, having just last week achieved that PB alongside a 16-star no LBOJ PB on that very same day. What is the ceiling for Spooky? I have no idea, but of course we'll have to see as time passes. Who is Spooky or Spooky_meow? Gonna face?
The full name in there. Very important. Good PFP, by the way. I like that one.
Cat enjoyer.
Ooh, okay, that's close. It's definitely going to be Paracuja.
All right. Spooky drawn against Paracuja. Paracuja, definitely one of the big runners of the late 2010s, managing to reach the top 5 of the 120-star leaderboard at one point. But alongside that journey was the desire to take other platforms' world records. In that journey, 4 were taken, one of which was the emulator 16-star world record. That 1542 remains his best 16-star time, and the one that gets sort of, I guess, unseated for this tournament has not been properly active in a very long time, but his peaks were very high. So let's see how close to those we will see him at in this tournament.
I brought Paracuja out of retirement for this one. You
Yeah,
don't have to. You want to come out.
yeah,
Pause
not
out for the
not
Supernova.
non-retirement. I don't think Paracuja's ever officially retired.
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, I don't think he. I don't remember him tweeting, "I'm retired" or anything. But
I guess I don't know how many people do that.
yeah, that's like
I
a
mean, there's
guaranteed.
definitely players that say they're retired,
No,
but like,
tweeting that you're retired is like a way to guarantee. It's the only way to guarantee that you're gonna come back.
this
It's
is
like that's
true.
how it works.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the best.
Yes, the best. Currently Spain's top player and also one of the most improved from last Supernova, having had a PB improvement on 32 seconds from last year's tournament. We've seen glimpses of what he can do last Supernova as he managed to get an upset against Flixer. But, now he's right there seated along with the best. Can he now take them down? Let's see who the best is going to face in round one.
Yeah, see who he will have to take down in the first round. It's gonna be bombs.
All right. The best going to face Bombs here. Now, Bombs is a runner that if you're in the tournament scene, you will know very well. Bombs is one of the most active members of the tournament scene, and you're likely to see him in every tournament ever made, including at Supernova, where Bombs is on his third appearance. However, it can be argued that Bombs' main efforts are not even in Mario 64, but in Super Bear Adventure. Yes, a mobile game which Bombs has managed to build a strong YouTube audience of over 15,000 subscribers, managing to stream and getting PBs in the game that has gotten thousands and thousands of views. So good job.
That is lore I did not know, but
Yeah,
okay.
I think currently third in that game. It's leaderboards.
Fair enough. All right. Don't know how I managed to spell it. Haro does speedruns in my OBS, but this is Haro does speedruns up next.
Or the speedruns, who is more known for a strong 120-star presence, that having been his recent focus on streams and where all of his PBs in the past 2 years have resided. However, last year in the Supernova, he still managed to show a nice general consistency though in the LTAs especially. Will that be able to get him farther this time? Well, let's see who he's going to be facing in this round one, which is of course the round of 64.
Alright,
We don't have
he's
cool
going
background music.
Yeah, I think I just played Discord pings on the microphone, sorry about that. We have got McCakes.
All right, Horde the speedruns here has been drawn against McKix. McKix, who is a new and up-and-coming streaming personality, having started more consistently streaming from the middle of last year, has vowed to stream every day in 2026. He's so far 218 days into that journey and seems to be in for managing to complete the full year of streaming. Currently number 1 seed in the intermediate bracket of the 70-star spectacular. He's thrown into a much more complicated scenario of a tournament here. Megax, however, who will be the absolute first to tell you he does tournaments for the content, I'm sure does not mind this scenario.
Very nice. Alright. Next up, we have Poke.
All right, Poke is next up, and now, even though Poke has never managed to get an hour world record ever since the 1-star emulator world record, which Poke managed to get all the way back in 2018, he's gotten very, very close to doing that, especially in 0-star. The 1-to-0-star enthusiast who's even shown it off at live events. Do I remember which one? I didn't write it down. I think it was about Pace 2023-ish, has also made progress in the past few years, improving his 16-star time, which is now nowadays down to a 15:05. Can all of that BLJ experience, of course, doing tons of 1 and 0-star, make him a race player to be feared? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Who is he going to try to strike fear onto?
He is going to face Leproxy. Alright.
All right, Poke here in the round of 64 facing Leproxy. Now, something I've personally really liked about the Supernova lineup is that we get to see how many runners we've gotten to return to Mario to actually play Supernova, and Leproxy is absolutely no exception to that rule. As a streamer who picked up even a relatively nice audience in his time streaming from like 2022 to 2024, hasn't streamed in actually over a year. So he, returns to Mario and returns to, I mean, maybe streaming, to take part at this Supernova. So hey, welcome back. We welcome you with open arms.
Cool. Yeah, I think tournaments do a pretty good job at getting people to go like, oh yeah, Mario's this. I had fun playing that sometimes. All right. And
yes. Also, we haven't acknowledged chat much, but I do see it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've been reading on the side.
All right. Yes. If there's anything interesting, make sure to cut me off. It's
yeah, if there's any actual banger messages in there, I might read them out.
Yeah. If there's any fire, emoji.
Absolute peak chatter in
Yes.
there. We might consider it.
All right.
All right. Well, final one of the first quarter. I guess it's a random arbitrary divide, but sure. Final one of the first quarter. We have the legendary Wario profile picture, Benedict.
All right, Benedict, is one of the most active players in the tournament scene. Not afraid to be in majority of tournaments all of the time. Definitely a contender for one of the strongest bingo players in a modern time. Plays it a lot and is a big fan of generally routing, right, for both stars and other things. Has invented various routes for category extensions, some of which are real and some of which aren't. Has invented even various routes for 120 stars, I think, a couple of hundred coins. And, for the first time at a Supernova, he is in the seeded pile. So let's see, who is Benedict going to face in round one? Which, this is the draw for the Supernova 16 tournament.
This is true. We weren't
Right
sure. I
here.
guess I forgot. Oh, there
Just in
actually was a
case.
chat message. Sorry. Yeah. This is the draw. Bizarrescape! Mexico.
All right, Benedict going to face off
BB.
against Bizarrescape. Bizarrescape, which is the biggest Mario 64 co-op content creator, and with that title has understandably been a little bit distracted to make a lot of speedrunning progress, but still last year managed to dust off a 2-second PB on what was becoming a very old PB. A combination of bad draws in the past two Supernovas have not allowed Bizarre to actually win a race yet. Could this year against Benedict be the year that changes? Who knows?
I think we should let him use co-op. Just bring in his friends.
Bringing the chat.
Bizarre
Power
on
of chat.
chat versus Benedict.
Yeah, you know those like Hopa Bros videos? Those like one speedrunner
Yeah.
like 10. Like,
Yeah, let's go.
yeah, I remember those. Those were fire.
I gotta swap my people. Gotta open up the new. All right. No, unfortunately, we can't add you in. We can't add you in as person player 65. This is
Yeah.
unfortunate. All right. I mean, does he even need an introduction? The undisputed goat. It is Zumi.
Yes, Zumi, who is the reigning two-time in a row champion of Supernova. Of course, he's back and he's searching for a third. A former emulator world record holder for the three short categories is composed when it matters in races and absolutely exceptional in the LTA format. However, in these early rounds that we're currently doing a draw for, has had a history of close calls and even getting upset. Can anyone take him out? Let's see who's gonna
Let's see
be
who's up for the
tasked.
challenge.
Do you have the Wii audio on, by the way? I'm curious.
I think I do, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think it helps.
Lovely.
Eve.
Eva is going to face Zumi. Eva was given a special exception last year to participate in Supernova despite having a 16 flat. Eve returns this time having achieved that 1 second improvement that was required,
Let's go.
having reached 8:15:59. Remains a consistent presence at community tournaments, mainly is focused on longer categories, however. If you want a fun fact, due to the circumstances of how last Supernova went, Eve remains the only opponent that Trey Bordeaux has ever faced in Supernova.
Yeah. That is true.
Which is pretty interesting.
Definitely one of the facts of all time. All right. Next up, we have. Oh, I'm gonna butch this. Is this Eldev or Eldev?
I think it's El Deve.
Eldev. That makes more sense. Yeah. All right, we got
Yeah, look,
Eldev.
we're gonna brush up on our Spanish for this tournament eventually. Yes, El Deve, who is Argentina's number 1 player, and while top Chilean player Mauir did not manage to join us in the tournament, we do thank him for having brought El Deve over to us, which is not a player that I was personally able to invite. A little bit of a wild card, submitted all of his current PBs in the span of 1 month, but hasn't actually seemed too
Nice.
active since that day. So what version of him are we going to see at the tournament? Will it be that level? Will it be a little lower, a little higher? Who knows? Let's see who is going to be facing him.
Wheel audio. It is going to be Ekodama.
All right, El Deve going over to face Ekodama. Now, Ekodama is actually the only runner in this tournament to be playing on Nintendo Switch, which is becoming a more popular option actually for newer Japanese runners to manage to pick up the game. However, don't be fooled by this. Ekodama is an absolute grinder and somebody who is willing to put in the hours and stream very very long hours to try to achieve the goal of improvement. But will that work ethic pay off with results at this tournament? We will have to discover, but I'm personally excited to see.
And yeah, we actually do have a player from every eligible platform. So eligible as in they have a time in the 15xx or 14xx, I guess, range. So yeah,
Yes.
we have one from everyone, which is
Yes.
pretty cool. First Supernova
If
that
you're
has
curious,
happened.
the only platform that could be allowed that isn't is Wii U. There is no Wii U 15 out there on the market. If you
Yeah.
want to be the first
If
to
anyone's
get it,
break out their Wii U,
if you
we'll get
want
you
to
in
be,
next year.
if you want to be the first to get a Wii U 15,
We gotta complete the 6. It's like trifecta, but for 6, I think. I think it's
yeah.
6. All right. 3 people saying they're gonna dust it off. Right, very good. Very off your line
Yeah,
today.
yeah, Wii U. I think the problem is that it does have like his like massive input delay.
Nice. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that
I think
sounds
that I
about
think
right.
the yeah, I think the best Wii U time was a 1604 by it was Liam something. Liam does Zelda, whatever it was called.
Nice.
Sorry, I looked it in passing.
All right. Next up is Benji.
Not that Liam.
Liam Games. He will be
Alright,
that day.
so probably. Anyways, yes, Benji. Now Benji, yeah, is definitely not a player who needs a lot of introduction, but I'll give one anyways. Benji is a former 70-star world record holder, and Benji is one with a fearless attitude in races, going for many things that others would admit, which has allowed Benji to pull some crazy time at this tournament before, even a 15-1x in a race. However, has tended to slip when facing top-level opponents that play a little bit more safe and get good times more consistently. However, with just a couple more good days, Benji could absolutely make it all the way for being a possible champion. But who's going to try to stop that before it even starts?
We shall see in approximately 1 second.
A bit more.
Oh yeah, I said approximately.
Okay.
It's gonna be Jojo.
Alright. Benji drawn here against Jojo in the first round. Now, Jojo is a Dutch runner that is currently residing in Japan. Jojo is a community member who's been around for a very long time, having his first submitted run be over 9 years ago in 2017. However, unlike many runners from the time, has remained consistently within the Mario 64 community for pretty much the entire time, getting PBs, playing the game, being passionate, being around the Discord, many things, and even on a personal level, has been a massive help in in communication for the Japanese players that we have gotten in to this tournament. Having that connecting piece, that interpreter there has been a huge help. So shout out to Jojo. I thank you a lot for helping us out in that regard.
Yeah, very cool. All right. Up next is Dasho or Mr. Dasho.
Yes, Dasher. Who? Yeah, I did put it Mr. Dasher in the alphabetical order. I think that's a lesson that shouldn't be very correct because it's only Mr. Dasher on speedrun.com, but like not anywhere else. But
Dasho King.
yeah, Dasho is Ecuador's top runner, and with his community entries being all the way back in 2021, he's one of the more OG runners of the new, Latin American sector of the high-level Mario that we're seeing prop up quite a bit, and a lot of them are into this tournament. Will he make use of that status and become, the one to beat, the player to beat for South America? I don't know who is going to challenge him.
I'm not sure how you'd make use of that status. I mean, maybe it's like a scare tactic, but.
That'd
Alright,
be good.
Dragon DY, who is in chat, I'm pretty sure. I mean, a lot of people are, but except aren't you
Yeah, a lot of people in
guys.
chat. Hello.
Yo!
Hello, chat. We
Yeah,
we
there he
hear
is.
you, or we read you. But yes, Dragon DY. When Dragon DY first learned about Supernova was 2 years ago, and in that time he had an 18-16 as a PB, and has followed it year by year, mainly cheering on Bizarrescape's efforts in the tournament. But after years of gradual improvement, has managed to get a 1559.1 that was achieved in February. So he is finally eligible for Supernova itself for the main event. Welcome in. I hope
Let's
the promised
go.
land is as promised.
That's why he grinded. It was to get into Supernova. It wasn't like
Yeah,
personal
nothing
improvement or
else.
anything. Who
Nothing
cares about
else at all.
PBs? It's all
Yes,
about that
no,
Supernova.
so it's all super, all Supernova.
For real.
No bias.
Alright, next up. Sunnerd.
Yes, Sunnerd. Now, the stable French crowd at Supernova is definitely championed by Sunnerd, which is one of France's best players. Also a former emulator world record holder, Sunnerd has always made it quite far, but a combination of inconsistency depending on the day and some, to be honest, very unlucky LTA pairings have cut his adventures short of the final days, of the final steps. Is he gonna be able to rise above this time? Welp, let the wheel choose. Actually, the wheel doesn't choose, but you get what I mean.
Ah, Jesus. Kudo.
That's interesting.
Nice.
Sunnerd facing off against Kudo in round one. Now, Kudo is, also a French runner, so I think other than the US pairings, this is the first national pairing. But Kudo, despite having actually never won a Supernova race, Kudo has shown excellent resilience when given time to find a good run, and has absolutely become one that thrives in the LTAs. Both of the past 2 years, having managed to survive multiple rounds and giving players with significantly faster PBs a run for their money down there in the LTA bracket. Will he keep up that legacy, or maybe will he be able to beat Sunnerd? I need to see.
Alright. Yeah, we'll have to see.
The
Alright.
the mega French match. You're gonna need to learn French for that one.
Genuinely, bro.
Bonjour.
Bro. La classique. Alright, next up we have Gainai.
All right, Gainai. Now, Gainai is an absolute classic runner and one of the multiple players of this tournament who were present at one tournament way far back that I want to remind you. The first season of the 16-Star League, which was a thing that they tried to make a thing quite a while ago. In that tournament, if curious, Gainai managed to make the top 8 before then bowing out to what was a world record holder, Aki. How will he
That's
fare
a while
against
ago.
yeah, how will he fare against the modern competition, however? Let's see.
Aki's crazy.
Aki.
Okay, why is Toby's name so big? Alright, that's gonna be just about Bloppy.
Alright. Do I know how to say this name?
I would say
I've always said Bloopy.
that makes sense.
But now that you brought in this new pronunciation,
Oh my
my
god,
world, my
what a
my
profile
my
picture.
world view has changed.
Alright, I don't know about that.
But a newer runner to join the bubbling Mario 64 tournament scene, but absolutely not a new runner in general. His first run to Mario having been in 2023. However, he's perhaps even more known for his efforts in a different game, Pitfall: The Lost Expedition, which he started speedrunning even earlier than Mario itself and got the opportunity to showcase any percent for that game live at AGDQ in 2024. So good job
Yeah,
on that experience.
the chat is pointing out, but Kiara's escaped like opponents. Kiara's escaped the wheel about 3 times by maybe like 4 pixels at most. All right. Up next is People Saru.
Piposaru. Now, Piposaru is one of the lesser known players from Japan. However, absolutely not one you should keep out of your mind. In the past year and a half, they have been quietly rising and is now standing at a 15-11 PB and 16 star. However, keep in mind, does not main any other category, only really plays 16, meaning that the full focus and attention is on 16 star itself. So, absolutely watch out as a potential danger. Who is People Star going to face in round one?
Let's see. It is. Okay, finally! Kiara's SM64.
Kiara has been drawn by the wheel after the wheel wanted to troll Kiara a little bit. Yeah, Kiara, who is a big co-op runner, was also last Supernova's big surprise. Arriving into the tournament with a 15:53, took advantage of a favorable bracket as well as some clutch times and PBs in the LTA portion to find a top 16 appearance. And now, in a mildly more prepared position with a PB that's over 15 seconds improved, can she reach similar places of the leaderboard? Mm.
Alright. I guess we'll have to find out, as we will
Yeah, so
for
I have to find out. Tune into
every
all of these
runner.
matches
Yeah,
because
you
these
gotta
are some
watch every
content.
single match, or else you're not a true Supernova fan. That's what they say.
Exactly.
Nobody
even
says
even if
that.
it's like 4 in the morning,
Exactly. And
maybe like the World
you
Cup.
work the next morning.
Yeah,
Supernova's more
no.
important.
Watch it at work. Like,
Exactly. If you're really bored.
yeah.
Alright. And finally, to close off this OBS scene, aka top
There's a
16.
lot of players in this
There's a
tournament.
lot of players.
I
One
apologize.
one day we could fit this on one scene, but today is not that day. It is Grand Pangari.
Yes, the Ground Pound Gary. Ground Pound Gary is one of the runners that has put faith in our tournaments the absolute longest. Ground Pound Gary was part of our bad 16-star tournament entitled the Eternal and Choco 16-star tournament 5 years
That was
ago.
genuinely so bad.
Where fun fact, the prize was a copy of FIFA 14. We have grown, but can Ground Pound Gary, who had to bow out with an early forfeit in the last Supernova, grow into the later rounds? Who's he facing?
Some would say FIFA 14 is a better prize than $200. I don't know who those people are, but some would probably say it.
Yeah, FIFA nowadays is bad. Go back to good
Exactly.
old days.
That's like a prized possession. You can get FIFA and it's
Yeah,
actually good.
it cares nobody won that tournament because it didn't finish. So nobody got the copy of
Yeah,
FIFA
I was
14.
gonna mention it, but I didn't decide not to. Alright, we have Toby.
All right, the Ground Pound Gary drawn here against Toby. Toby is one of the Supernova staples, has managed to be in every edition despite having relative inactivity outside of tournament season. The tough conditions of being a 1557 on Virtual Console in this tournament to make him struggle to get far. However, last year he did manage to pull off a time that qualified past that first LTA round though. Is he going to be able to, in this edition, build off of that? I don't know. Let's see.
Alright, well, we finished the first half. If you
Doesn't look
wanna...
beautiful.
Yeah, doesn't look nice, guys. It's awesome. All those such colorful profile pictures.
Yes.
There's at least 12 Marios in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mario hats for sure.
Couple anime characters. Wario my goat.
Yes. Don't worry, we will recap how the bracket is looking afterwards. So if you miss something or
We
you
will.
don't recognize the profile pictures, we'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. On to the next. Hopefully this isn't gonna explode and die. Ah, it's pretty good.
Explosion. Explosion sound
I
effect.
should have played explosion sound effect. Yeah.
Yeah, the Roblox one.
All right. On to the next. First off, to kick off the final 16, it is going to be Oya Mario.
Alright. Oya Mario is Japan's latest star, improving extremely quickly after picking up the game in 2024, has made a splash in the top 5 of the 16-star leaderboard with a 1449, is seeded at second in this tournament due to currently playing only on emulator, putting that emulator PB 1 second behind Kano's 1453. However, will Oya be able to prove that the top 5 world record in all of the emulator short categories, will that strength be proven in what I think is his first bracketed tourney appearance? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't spotted another one.
All right, let's see. Gonna be Nene Epic Swag.
Nay, nay, epic swag given, of
Best name.
course, the tough matchup here of Oya Mario. Nene Epic Swag is one of the 6 or so runners from last Supernova that ended up having to forfeit their way out of the tournament, which is, something that we definitely hope will happen less this time around, with, like, hopefully, general scheduling improvements and all of that. However, even in that short-lived experience, he managed to make a splash by getting a upset win over 22nd PB better Ground Pound Gary, before then getting re-upset, however, by Kiara. So let's see if Nene will have the consistency this year to turn some results into runs deep into the tournament. Tough start though.
All right. Up next is Rice Farm.
All right, Rice Farm up next. Now, actually, right after Rice Farm's Supernova experience last year, where he got to LTA round 2, he proceeded to switch over to N64 and has managed to make good progress on the platform, even reaching new heights that the Rice Farm never before had on emulator, and doing just about enough to reach the seeded portion of the bracket here, having a 1534 PB. Can the new platform get Rice Farm some victories? Well, who's he getting?
We shall spin the wheel to find out, as we have done 33 times before. Probably gonna keep doing it unless something really bad happens. It's gonna be Alex Rax.
All right, Rice Farm here, seeded, and will be facing Alex Rax. Now, Alex Rax, in terms of Mario ability, we've actually seen very little of what Alex Rax can do. Alex Rax has only ever submitted 4 runs to speedrun.com, and one of them is a Whomp's Fortress stage RTA. His 1549 from last year being the latest run that was submitted. The YouTuber with 50,000 subscribers making videos on the game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle is here to break out of the shell and challenge in a live setting. I'm
Nice.
not sure if I said the name of that game right.
Close enough. Oh, Alex Rax disappeared in chat. Yo.
Hopefully they correct.
All right. I have lost my way in this mess in OBS scene. Okay, here we go. Next up is Karen.
Yeah, Karen. I mean, Karen, former 120-star world record holder Karen, and even possibly future 120-star world record holder Karen got a 135 like the other day. Showed in his performance at 2024's Supernova to be one of the players to fear the most, playing with a consistency that has so far been never seen before or since in this tournament, managing to only play seconds from some best consistently. It's been a couple of years since those matchups, so will those same traits get redisplayed? Where's Karen's journey going to begin against?
I'm going to predict Lojan. I don't know. I feel like predicting that time. I'm gonna keep loading. Ah, never mind. It's not close. Offside the wheel. Printer won't work. Dynamo we can all
All right,
empathize with, I
Karen
think.
has been drawn against Printable Work in the first round right here. Printer Won't Work is an up-and-coming Twitch streamer who started to dedicate themselves a little bit more to streaming in 2026. The streamer is back to regular streaming the past week specifically for this very tournament. So, you know, you definitely got to be careful with them because the time is being put in, so he could very well work in some good runs. Also has been rated by GTM, and we haven't, so...
I
so, yeah.
mean, you could consider him like jumping into the commentary
He
booth a
raided into our
raid.
commentary one time, but you know, not with the viewers, you know, not with the audience.
It's a raid in a different sense of the word.
It's a physical raid.
Yeah. All right, match of the century indeed. All right, next up we got Milo 218GX.
Yes, Milo 218 GX is the top Venezuelan player in this tournament, and I want to take this opportunity, as Milo does not speak English, to actually say one quick sentence in Spanish, okay? Just to kind of speak out to those. Tienen algunos jugadores en este Supernova que no hablan inglés. Milo es uno de ellos, y quiero solo decir que voy a intentar ayudarlos en cuanto puedo, entonces estoy intentando.
Thanks, sir.
All right. But yeah, one of the two Venezuelan players in this tournament, and a sneaky one, you know, reaching 15-20 just a couple of months ago. So let's see who he's going to face, and apologies for the Spanish.
Yeah, we are lucky that Antarna can speak like 400 billion languages or something. All right, let's see. All right, we have Hugo de Naranja. Oh my god, what just happened?
All right. If I am not mistaken about this, I think that is yeah, the upper Venezuelan runner. Yes,
I was thinking, I was like, hold on.
Venezuelan mobile runner, and the latest runner to achieve 15 to qualify into this tournament. To manage to achieve his first 15 on this July 31st, just under 2 years from his first ever 16-star speedrun. He is by a significant margin the best SBOJer on mobile, holds both the 1 and 0-star world records by quite a long distance there. Can his form and BOJ skills bring him somewhere in, of course, this all Venezuela match, which is not exactly what you'd expect to be
That
seen,
was
but
pretty. Some calculate the odds on that one. I mean, it's a pretty simple probability thing, but
yeah,
I don't want to figure that out.
you know, I guess vamos.
Very nice. Vamos. All right. Next up, yeah, we did not script the draw. Don't worry. This wheel is actually a video that's been perfectly timed. We scripted the entire thing. All right. Next up is Finny. Finny 602.
All right, yeah, Finny, another Supernova staple, and for the first time, Finny is actually not number 1 seed at a Supernova, and even if it's because the system has changed, actually wouldn't be even if the system was the same as last year. Last year's finalist is facing more competition than ever before. However, unlike last year, the, you know, considered VC GOAT is now accustomed to the N64 a little bit more, and, you know, this might cause the right combination of elements to go far once more now that we don't have the handicap, but we're also adjusted to N64. Who is Finny's journey gonna start? They tend to be long journeys.
Yeah, Finny tends to do pretty well. Probably couldn't make it to the draw today, but definitely shout out the GOAT. Big supporter of the tournament. Been here since forever. So it's gonna be Blahai.
Ooh, that's interesting. I think this is a repeat of a match from like 3 years ago. This is a repeat of a match from the first Supernova. But yeah, Bly, which is also a Supernova staple, having been a part of all four editions of the tournament, has managed competitive performances across all those years against some higher level competition, but has never quite managed to take any of them down, usually dropping out after one or two rounds. Is this the year the Shark makes a mark? Well, but Finny is a tough one. I don't know.
Did you make that up on the spot, or did you have that written down?
That's written down.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
Nice.
not that good at
That's
improv.
kind of fire though. Shark noise a
Yeah.
mark. Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Next
Got
up.
good writing credit.
You gotta get the pay rise for that one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is I think that is a silverback gorilla, if I'm not mistaken. This is Dup Dome. I don't really know my primates though. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. Yes, Dub Dome. From his debut at 16 star all the way back in 2018, in this decade, Dub Dome, or also sometimes known as Dump Dome, has taken periodic reappearances to Mario 64 for, pockets of time. Sometimes these lead to great results, like the time he got a 1 and 16 star PB within 2 days of each other. Will this reappearance to the Mario scene lead to similar results? I don't know.
I guess
I
we'll
do think
see.
Dubdom was a mod. I think probably in the Discord. It was a while ago.
All right, yeah, the wheel's really thinning out, down to 11 players left. So anyone left? Could be anyone here. Big cheese, the biggest cheese.
That's not been quite clarified yet.
I mean,
Would that be a big cheese? I guess there's no player called Bigger Cheese yet, as far
yeah,
as I know,
exactly.
to really rival
We're
it.
just working off the evidence we have. Okay.
Yeah, this is true. But if any player wants to rename themselves to Bigger Cheese and then be in this tournament, you know,
Don't worry.
but. Big Cheese is mainly known as one of the best new Super Mario Bros. Wii runners around, currently holding the any percent world record. Big Cheese arrived last Supernova right off the back of an N64 Switch, which, it can be a little bit complicated, but despite the unfavorable settings, still managed to pick up a win and some interesting performances. How will he perform now with over a year of experience on the N64? Well, let me see.
All right. Next up, CJ Rococo Mero.
Yes, CJ
Definitely
Rococo
an
Mero.
esoteric player.
CJ Rococo Mero is what I would argue as the most fearless player Supernova may have ever seen. The Italian, who also contended the zero-star world record, goes for everything all of the time, allowing for some insane finish times that will destroy any opponent, or to get put in a situation so rough you could have lost to anybody. Which one will it be for this tournament? Well, somebody's gonna have to find out, and it's gonna be the person this wheel lands on.
Yeah, impossible to get a boring match with CJ Rococo Mero's involved.
Yes,
It's
this
just not
wheel's
even
putting in the
like
work.
infinite content generator.
This is true.
All
Actually,
right.
no, because when the wheel runs out, what do we do?
We got Vista.
All right, Vista has been drawn against CJ Rococo Mero. Vista, who is also known as Linux Hater on speedrun.com, is primarily. I'm sorry, it was like something in my throat.
I'm sure.
Is actually primarily a cuber, being properly sponsored and holds various Spanish world records in. No, sorry. Any Spanish records in blindfolded categories. Yeah, a
Spain's the
Spanish world record
word.
can exist.
The
Various different
commercial
Spanish
world.
records in blindfolded categories. Vista had a tough experience last Supernova due to issues on both travel and setup. Can he free himself from those and bring his A game up? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted about Vista. Because like I am myself, of course, quite a big cuber, but I'm also streaming from Linux, so it's like, can I support him? Like, I'm not sure. We don't know. I have to give some like moral thought into this
Yes, this
dilemma.
stream is being done on Linux, so
Yeah, just if I
Vista, which is named after Windows Vista.
if
Yes,
anyone cared.
that's
Yeah,
where
he's
that's where
basically
the
the
name comes from.
antithesis of me, except the cubing.
Yes,
All right.
Poke is also a cuber.
Let's go. All right. Finish off column number 3. We got MD Grav.
Yes, MD Grav. Now, in this edition, there is the absence of Tomcar, which means that MD Grav, who is also known as Mystic, becomes the de facto flag carrier for Norway at this edition's Supernova. His latest performance in 2024 was short-lived, only playing 2 matches. Will they be able to successfully de-rust and get some wins in this edition? I don't know, let's see.
All right. Let's see who they'll be facing. Of the last 8. Major.
Alright, MD
Major.
Grav. You gotta say it in
Yeah, I
a
gotta say
major
major.
key. You gotta say it in a major key.
Major!
Major. But yeah, Major is a mobile runner from Morocco, and with that detail, is the only runner from Africa in this supernova, which means that every continent is at this supernova, unless you count runners that have the Antarctica flag as being from Antarctica, in which case we don't have any. So you can debate the accuracy of that claim. Historically, it has always been ranked as the second best mobile runner. Major specializes in no LBOJ, and it is with no LBOJ which Major got his 1555 that qualifies him into the tournament. Will we see no LBOJ mained at the tourney, however? I don't know. We'll need to see.
We will indeed need to see. This is correct. All right. Sorry, that was the most obvious filler sentence of all time. But I tried to find Xandri up, I think.
We will see.
We will see.
I love
we
the sentence.
see.
We will see.
It's a good
It's one of my
phrase.
favorite sentences. Guys, you guys should say "we will see" more often in your daily lives.
All right. To kick off the final column, final 8, we have Xandri.
Yes, Xandri. Supernova, stable, Xandri. Stable.
It's like a bread.
I'm becoming worse at reading with time. Supernova staple Xandri has actually never been as close to the world record as in the past few weeks. This grind for the top, however, has made his approach more dangerous within the tournament itself in terms of strats and stuff, and he's always just about to miss the grand final, finishing 3rd in the past 2 Supernovas, and if I'm not mistaken, 4th in the first one. Is this the year that he manages to finally make the final act? Let's see where the journey starts.
All right. Yeah, Xandri going to the moon, the supernova, bro. Trust me. Yes. Definitive. It's gonna be up against Radric.
Alright, Xandri against Radric. Now, Radric debuted in last year's edition and debuted swinging, slaying runners above his pay grade, impressively beating Kudo and Fomkar with his tremendous consistency at achieving low 16 times during races, doing it nearly every run. He's improved his PB by 6 seconds since last year's Supernova. Will we see the same version of him return, or will it have been switched up? We need to see.
All right, and next up will
Tough task
be.
with Xandri.
Oh, sorry.
Apologies. That was a filler line. One of my classics.
Thought I'm gonna hurry up. All right, next up is Majuk, which is not a runner I'm familiar with, but big fan of the name. Very fun to say.
All right. Well, I will inform you. Majuk is Korea's #1 speedrunner and also the only real Korean runner to have reached this type of height. Having runs in all 5 categories in all 3 platforms, as well as having runs in 12 different category extensions, Majuk has been around all corners. Alright, and for over 9 years now. However, is fresh off of yesterday's PB, which puts him into the seeded portion, being a PB by 13 seconds. Can he bring the Korean flag to tournament heights? I don't know.
Majuk is running anything, bro.
Who's Majuk facing?
I was gonna make a joke. You said the only real a Korean player, and I was like, does that imply Unreal Korean players? But then I was like, I think Majoog might be the Unreal one. I might have to dispute that claim. It's like, what kind of, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to do. It's like I can play every category, everything, every platform. Fair enough.
Yeah. Go to a leaderboard. Majuk will be there.
All right, let's see who will be there against Majoog though.
Yeah. The Swifty is dwindling down.
Nagol.
All right. Majoog drawn against Nagel, or how do we state this name? I remember the other Supernova we got a clarification on this. Nagel, I think.
Nagel. Yeah, I guess
But
so.
I don't know. Nagel, the past couple of years have been busy and not allowed Nagel a lot of time to try out Mario, leaving his latest personal best at January of 2025. He's made it back up, however, and we'll try to see if he can improve on this 2024 Supernova result, where Nagel was not capable of qualifying past any round. We wish him good luck.
Bro, I gotta make it to this match. I'm gonna have so much fun saying Majoog and Nagel together for like an hour.
The fun name? The
Fun
fun
name
name
matchup,
match?
real?
This is how we decide who commentates.
All right.
Who wants the fun names?
Next up is Belladron, which is a dog.
Uh, all right. Now, this, if I'm not mistaken, is not Belladron. It's Balladron because I made a severe mistake in when I was naming all of the files.
And I copied your mistake. You're right. I literally read that
Yes.
DM from you and just did not internalize that into memory at
Yes,
all.
my apologies. It is in the mistake is in the intro video
It's
as well.
Belladron.
It's written
You're right.
Belladron instead of Balladron. Hopefully you can understand how those sound pretty similar. But yes, Balladron is the top player of the new movement of Latin American emulator players, which this tournament will showcase plenty of. Some have been drawn already, some are still in the pile. Improving his PB by multiple minutes in only a couple of months. We've eventually found ourselves here at a 15-14. Welcome to the tournament scene. Show us what you got. Who's
Very nice.
Balladron getting drawn against?
Who will be your first matchup? Looking at a Callus finally drawn after lurking in the chat for a while.
Yeah, I had to wait it out. All right, Balladron drawn against Callus. Callus Lollier is one of the leading figures of the French community and also, I believe, a former tournament organizer, having historically organized many editions of the tournament SRBT, which may be one of the most ambitious Mario 64 tournaments that was ever created. It featured an incredible 7 divisions for all levels of French runner last year. Currently, he streams variety with a recent focus on visual novels, but Mario will be played.
I hope so. I mean, that's honestly not a given in Supernova. Sometimes people open some BS with their EverDrive, but
Yeah.
usually it's when the match is finished. I mean, anything can happen in the LTAs, but all right. Next up, Mr. Jimmy Steele.
Yeah. I just as a quick note from before, yeah, I do think Balladron and Callus are also both runners that have grinded co-op. I'm not sure if they grinded co-op together, but like those scenes have like set up their own groups to get the big co-op results. Yeah, Mr. Jimmy Steele. Mr. Jimmy Steele is, of course, a historic Wii Sports speedrunner, having appeared in the Summoning Salt video. And even though Jimmy Steele may not make Mario 64 his main speed game, managed to prove in the last Supernova that he still has the skills to make an appearance that lasts, winning a race round and surviving 3 different LTA rounds. Is he going to be able to stay in a tougher edition, however? Let's see who Mr. Jimmy Steele is going to be facing.
Yeah, legend has it we have never mentioned Mr. Jimmy Steele without mentioning the Summoning Salt factoid.
Is this true? To be fair,
It's pretty
Jimmy
cool.
Steele also puts that in the bio.
Exactly.
I feel like Jimmy Steele is a man.
It's gonna be Vita Blue.
All right, Mr. Jimmy Steele has been drawn here against Vita Blue, or just Vita, depending on how you want to say it, is maybe the only Mario speedrunner and ROM hack player from Macau, having made some contributions in the Kaizo scene of ROM hacks, creating a part of the ROM hack Fractured Multiverse, as well as having completed the Kaizo hack King Boo's Revenge 2. Will the
Oh,
consistency
damn.
required for Kaizo completions translate to speedrunning races? We will have to see.
Yeah, that hack is not easy. I should
Yeah,
probably
I
know
think it's
more
right.
about ROM hacks than I do about just normal speedrunning. Yeah, I can tell you,
Roma, Roma gets mentioned, Joe. Ooh.
KVR2 is not easy.
I think it's rated 7 stars difficulty on ROM hacking. And that's Kaizo
Yeah.
difficulty. It's pretty hard.
All right. Finally, Aubrey.
Yeah, Aubrey. Aubrey is, that leader of the mobile community. Aubrey is the most improved of the returning players. Her PB having improved by 58 seconds in the past years, taking her from an underdog with low chances to someone that could possibly go for the money. Will the reigning Z's Summer 70 Spectacular champion be capable of bringing that energy over to the 16 arena? Let's see.
Yeah, not a whole lot of options left. All right. Third eye's telling you it's Seba. Yeah, bro, you gotta get your third eye checked. Because it will be Logan. Logan or
Dude, that is
Seba.
wrong.
Gotta get a
I
fourth
need
eye.
to. Yeah. Can you believe I was about to make the same guy?
Oh, we got the same person.
Yeah, I made the exact same joke. Look, it was too easy, alright? Yes, I'll be joining against Logan. Now, Logan, you know, being a relatively inactive runner in the 15.5x range on Wii makes Logan one of the runners in the most disadvantaged position that can qualify at Supernova event due to the tough handicap that gets added onto VC players. So we're mainly here to entertain, right? Let's hope you have a good time watching Logan, and hey, underdogs sometimes win. And looking at this matchup, the handicap would only be like what, 2 seconds? So not too bad.
Logan, well, I mean, well known to us for The Room.
Yes, the room.
Enjoys
We might
showing
need
us
to
some
make a
thinking.
special segment of that match entirely for the room tour.
I'm not even messing because we're not going to stream the LTAs. We might have to do it.
Yeah, since the LTAs are now individual sessions, which can be watched on the streamer's individual channel. They may not
Yeah,
be restreamed with commentary, so
we'll
yeah. But
make it
more
happen.
info on that in a little bit.
Bet. All right.
More info on that later. We'll let you know because I haven't clarified too much how the loser bracket really works, so a little bit more
Yeah,
about that in a second.
it's going to be a lot of explaining. If anyone wants the text wall, then
There's more of the
it's gonna be
longest draw of all time to go.
all right. Top three, or not top three, final three. Nico asks.
You know, before I say anything, I just gotta say, y'all can underestimate how big of a number 64 is.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
It sounds way less than it is. Okay. Nicolas is a Spanish runner and was very active from the period of 2021 to 2024. However, since dropped the game, is now, however, looking to come back to Mario for the next while, having signed up for the Summer League, which draft tomorrow, y'all. This tournament is going to be an interesting one for Nicolas. Of course, D Rust 16 will he be able to compete with some of the newer runners from Spain that are also around in this tournament. I believe there are 3. Let's see who Nicolas gets.
Prehistoric runner is crazy. All right, third eye was just a little late. Now I got Seba 54.
Actually, third eye was too good. It was in the future.
Oh, you're like a clairvoyant.
This that makes
Already.
sense. All right. But yeah, Seba 54 drawn against Nico Lask. So I was about to say 754 drawn against 754. 754, which is a keyboard runner from Chile, returning for the second year. Will require a D-Rus as well to reach the levels of his last PB, which is unchanged, having been gotten in 2024, remaining firm at 1552. Last time, he was not able to bring glory to the keyboard mains. Now, there's some others around here that can take on the task of trying to win with a keyboard, but, I'm sure Seba is going to aim for that to be himself.
All right, it's not the final spin, but it is the spin with all the information. Um, so we're gonna see who goes up against Flixer and Zeus SM64. But let's
Yes,
start with Flixer because
we will do the last spin as a formality,
yeah,
but this is the second last spin with all of the sauce, which will decide who gets to face it. Flixer. Flixer is another runner I consider a little bit of a wild card. Very fast on his day, but not super active in the modern time. Still, with a PB from under a year ago, if you can find his footing and get into a rhythm, Flixer, which has I think a 1509, is absolutely in dark horse territories to go very far, depending on how brushed up we are on the finer details. Who is getting drawn by this wheel?
let's see. Yeah, we all
This
do the
this
token
lovely
spin.
wheel that will need a raise.
You can't not do the token spin. It
Give
is
him one of the
going
subs.
to be Flixer versus Cheesy Leech.
All right, Flixer drawn here against Cheesy Leech in the second to last match here. Now, Cheesy Leech is interesting because there aren't many runners in the modern day who have completely bailed on the usage of capture cards, but here's one of the few. Cheesy Leech, who started running in 2020 and took a pause last year, is back and will take us back to the days of camera pointed at television.
Let's go.
Will this setup earn itself a win? I don't know.
I mean, you gotta have at least one. All
All
right.
right.
Final spin for Zeus SM64. I just realized I forgot to let you introduce Zeus SM64, so you can introduce Zeus SM64 right now.
Zeus has a 64 is the last profile picture. And now in the time of Zeus's last Supernova appearance, he hadn't gotten a PB in 3 years, making it tough mental barrier to get past. However, ever since he has been able of overcoming his 1-star and 16-star PBs, improving the latter by 13 seconds to a 15:26. Can he make that difference count and strike? Well, we know who will be facing.
I'm gonna do token spin number 2, so I kind of ruined the sanctity of it, but it is going to
Who is it going to be?
Sergio P. 64.
All right. Sergio P64 is the top runner from Colombia. The only one in this tournament to stream exclusively to Kick, has had one of the fastest rises I have ever seen, going from his first run of 21:39 9 months ago to a 15:49 just last month. We certainly hope that this is only the first step in what is hopefully a long career to what is one of the most promising runners that people don't quite know the name of yet. But welcome in.
All right, and that is the final player drawn. The bracket has been decided. It is over. But the stream isn't. We got some random stuff to say. What do you want to do first? I guess a recap?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yes, that is the conclusion of the drawing portion of the draw. Now, theoretically, if you pull up the bracket from those sectors, the matches should be there. Yo, chat. Are they there?
Yeah.
They should be, yes. Yes, so as you can currently see, this is a reminder. Should I save them super quickly? All of them
Yeah,
ASAP speedrun.
I'll keep scrolling through them.
Kano versus Two Porridge, Sigotu versus Everchix, Physius versus Rosacea, Spooky versus Pericusia, The Best versus Bombs, Horror Speedruns versus McKix, Poke versus Laproxy, Benedict versus Bizarrescape, Zumi versus Eve, Eldeve versus Ekudama, Benji versus Jojo, Dasho versus Dragon DY, Sunard versus Kudo, Gainai versus Bloopy, Piposaru versus Kiara SM64, Ground Pound Gary versus Toby, Oyamario versus Nene Epic Swag, Rice Farm versus Alex Rax, Karen versus Printer Work, Milo218GX versus Hugo de Naranja, Finny versus Blohe, Dupdome versus Big Cheese, CJ Rocco Comero versus Vista, Empty Grab versus Major, Zandri versus Radric, Machug versus Nago, Baladron versus Callus, Mr. Jimmy Steele versus Vita Blue, Aubrey versus Lojan, Nicolas versus Seba54, Flixer versus Cheesy Leech, and Zeus SM64 versus Sergio P64. Those aren't the matchups. How are we feeling about that draw? Draw, do you have any
Uh,
opinions on it?
that was a pretty good draw. I got some funny stuff like the fucking all of Venezuela.
All Venezuela
Um,
match, that's gonna be fire.
wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
It's gonna be fire.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fire. Every match here is gonna be absolute peak. Hopefully, no one has to forfeit. You're always hoping for the 32 out of 32. Probably not possible. I mean, bringing in 64 players, you kind of run that risk. But yeah, and yeah, we do have a losers bracket. We could. I don't know whether we're gonna go into the details, but for now, I'm just gonna say if you lose, you go down here to LTA land, and we're gonna do them a little differently.
If you
But
curious, I can point it out.
you are
I
just
can
yeah okay. I'll let you explain.
I
So
can give it an explanation. In the invite, you might have read it, that it's 2 + 1 hour LTA. What does that mean? Each player will be doing their own individual session in the losers bracket. Basically, they will stream to the public. All right, their 2 hour session. Okay, where of course they will try to get the best time. After every runner has done this, the top 25% will qualify to the next round. However, afterwards, everybody else, the remaining 75%, will know what times they have to get to qualify, right? Because when you're going into the first 2 hours, you're going in blind. You don't know what time you need to get. So we allow 1 additional hour session, which you can reject if you want, but majority of the players are currently wouldn't be qualifying, so it's obviously recommended, right? An additional 1 hour session where you know the times that you got to get to roughly get into the last quarter that qualifies, and therefore you get in there. In terms of times that you're allowed to, you're realistically going to be allowed to do it for nearly any time, but we will sort out with you personally if you drop down into the losers bracket. As a reminder, however, you should not want to drop down into the losers bracket. You should want to steer clear and stay up there and win matches.
nice. Some people love playing LTAs, but yeah. Obviously, it being more individual, maybe people liked the doing it with other people, and I guess you could organize to do it with another person. That I mean, we're not going to stop you from doing that. But we basically did that because we don't have the most time this year. Some things might come up, and we kind of found that the LTAs were very hard to schedule, and the content in them it wasn't the best. They were just impossible to schedule. You get like two people playing LTA, or the dreaded one player LTA would come up sometimes where you just couldn't schedule with anyone else, and it's just, it was a bit annoying. So yeah, if you're confused, don't worry, we'll explain it again. But yeah,
Yes,
basically, you
as
are
a
going to be playing just LTA sessions, but you're probably not going to be playing it with other people if
Yeah, I
if
mean,
that
like,
makes
as a
any sense.
statistic from the last Supernova, out of the 4 player LTAs for the last Supernova, only about like 25 to 30% of them actually involved a session with all 4 players playing at the same time, right? It's very difficult to schedule
Yeah,
because this is one of the most international Mario tournaments that exist. There's like every range of Earth, just like half of the time zones in the world involved in this tournament, which makes it very difficult to schedule and yeah, beyond that, yeah, just kind of having less time. But also at the same time, this format allows for greater total fairness because in the LTA groups, better times could get eliminated if you were on a tougher group, whereas worse times, sometimes even by minutes, manage to qualify. One can argue that that's fun, but I also think this could be a possible nice side effect of the new format that it will be 100% the better times they qualify.
And yeah, we will have an advantage for the winner side this time. Finally.
Oh yes, this is true.
We will do a
Over
bracket
there on the
reset.
grand final. Yes, it should be there on the bracket theoretically if you go over to the grand final. Um,
Where the
it's
fuck
like
am
above.
I? Oh, I
Yes.
see.
So, it's 64A and 64B. Yes, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
There's a potential bracket reset. Yes, if you come in from the losers bracket and you manage to win the best of five, you have to play a best of five afterwards, which may make the grand final one hell of a marathon, but it is the fairest way to go about it. As in both of the last editions, the player from the losers bracket has managed to win the tournament despite losing, and the player at the top never having a chance to really reprove themselves. I think this was a correct course of action. We will make sure that when grand final scheduling is done, which of course will be in a little bit, will be in a while.
Just a bit.
Um, yeah, it will be in a while that there will be a significant portion of time in case of the bracket reset.
Yeah, so I mean that was the original reason we are kind of hesitant on the bracket reset because it does take a lot of time if it does go to the reset. But I mean, you didn't lose, so like it's kind of lame to only get
Yeah,
one chance against the person who did lose. And Finney brought it up, and he was right,
yeah,
realistically. So I think this is the course of action for sure.
yeah. Also, of course, pointing out the scheduling itself, you might be wondering, when the hell can I schedule my match? Well, but the aftermath of this draw stream, which is of course coming to a close relatively shortly, we will get to work on setting up all of the scheduling channels and the things required for all of that. If you were paired up against a Japanese player, it might take a little bit longer to some specifics on that department. But otherwise, as soon as the channel is open, feel free to chat to your opponent, or of course, if you want, you can just DM them. Although that might be a little bit more awkward. So, yeah, that is the information on scheduling. Be on the lookout. We'll ping you when it's open.
And yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think we have anything else to mention except, do you? I don't think I do. Except for
Well,
some recap stuff.
just general. I mean, like, I guess. I don't know how many people are, of course, left in chat as the draw has concluded, so the main part is over. But how was the draw? Just curious.
Yeah, do we enjoy? Do we like?
Yeah, how is the draw? Did
Did
we
I
do a good
butcher it?
draw? You know, I think it's nice to get some comments on that aspect. I personally enjoyed the draw experience. Shaka, did you enjoy these few hours?
Yeah, pretty fun. Good to be back commentating. I mean, I wasn't really commentating, I'm kind of just talking here, but we shall. Yeah, intimidating. Fair enough. Yeah, I hope you like the new color scheme. If you don't, you're screwed. Because I mean, it's not really a new color scheme. It's just a more pronounced background. But if you don't, you're going to be seeing a lot. I got in my graphic design bag for this one. We're going to see some beautiful layout. It's going to be crisp, perfect.
Yes, you'll discover the layout on the first match,
SVG.
which which one is it gonna be? It might be a race to find out who gets to have first match territory.
Yeah, does anyone
Uh,
is that like a thing? Do you think people
no,
like into schedule? We're
no, not at all.
nah, we gotta
Not
make
even a
one.
little bit.
Nah, you gotta be number one. All right. Cool for a moving gradient. That would be cool,
I
but
mean,
it would be
interesting
like
idea.
top one most distracting things of
Computing
all
power.
time. I feel like. I mean, maybe you could do it really slowly, but
Yeah,
I think that would.
could be something to consider.
What if we do it like really slowly and it makes people think they're like crazy?
That's like I swear that was poor. No, you don't tell them.
Yeah.
We'll think about that now.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea.
You know, we're
Very
always one
not different to do.
we're always one for a little trolling, right? I gotta be honest. All right, yeah, I think with that does probably conclude the draw.
Yeah, reminder about the Japan streams. They will be restreamed over there for any people who speak Japanese or just, are Japanese, whatever. If you want to see them, go to
Yes.
them. And again, prize pool. I should have made a graphic for it. We don't have a graphic. Gonna be $200 to first place, funded by us. And
Yes.
then top 1 to 5 there's gonna be split across. We haven't fully decided on the split. I don't know. One of us
What?
typed one out that was pretty logical. Made pretty much good
Do it.
sense.
Do you remember the split? Yes, I do remember the split.
So
The split that is being made is a 30%, 30%, 20%, 10%, 10%.
yeah, we'll see if we lock it in. That sounds
Yes.
about right to me.
Yes. So first place
Um,
will always get exactly $200 more than second place in the prize pool.
yeah, so that's gonna be crowdfunded. So I'm gonna have a donation link open. I'm not gonna steal your money, I promise. I think after 4 tournaments, just do a rug pull. That would be kind of insane. Just destroy all the goodwill. No. I'm probably
No.
gonna match the PayPal fees because PayPal's lame. Um, if we'll see. Oh, I don't know how high they are, but yeah, that's what I don't know. I mean, people like subbing. I think if the money, I think what we'll do is the money that comes from the sub, like the exact amount of dollars into the account, will go. I'll put them through as a prize pool because obviously some of it goes to Twitch. Like if you sub for $5, you get like 2 or 250 or whatever. That money will, I think, will put it towards the prize pool plus the donor link that will be open. I'll probably post in the Discord. I'll give it a test. But yeah, so if anyone likes the tournament, is financially capable, and wants to see the runners, get a good prize pool. Remember, it's not going to us; it's going to the runners because they're the ones playing. That will be an option this year. So give $1 billion to the prize pool to upset the top payout. Bro, you're gonna put people on like Wikipedia. It's gonna be like massive like sports players like earnings or whatever, and then it's gonna be like Mario 64 players. It's gonna be like $1 trillion.
Yeah. Well, I do run a lot of the organizational aspects. The aspects related to the prize pool itself are more on Choco's end. So, hopefully, maybe even Choco can make the announcement and the info when that time is. I think that's fair,
Yeah,
right?
it should be more than
When
a
the
couple
link
of
is made
days.
and when that's ready. Hopefully, maybe in time for the first couple of matches.
Yeah, we're not gonna give away hobbies from FIFA 14 to 19.
Unfortunately, I don't have any copy of FIFA 18, so
Damn
you know.
it. Gotta go out and buy one. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So
All right.
probably wrap it up.
Well, but thank you guys for tuning into the draw, the first official stream of the Supernova event. Not as scuffed as we were expecting it to go. Don't worry, it will become more scuffed than this when the first couple of matches are in store, and then hopefully clean itself up with time. If you are interested and aren't followed yet, of course, feel free to follow. That is cool. That way you get to see whenever it's live.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, especially because a lot of people are new in the server, there is, if I'm not mistaken, in the role channel, the opportunity to pick up the Twitch notifications role.
I
Is
really
that
hope that
correct?
still works.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so if you pick up the Twitch notifications role, you can get pinged whenever, of course, there is a stream live, and that way you get to, know in general. So that is something as well to point itself out. And in general, yeah, that is it. Now, you know what cool Twitch streamers do? They raid people.
They do raid people, so that means we gotta figure out who to raid or something of the sort. Okay, no more wheel because I have to go on Twitch. Goodbye.
Who is streaming?
I am not streaming. Should raid my main channel.
What? There are a couple of tournament players playing currently. Do we want to raid a tournament player? What do we think?
Ah, Supernova's live? Yeah, we could rate them, I guess. I don't know. They're kind of lame though. I don't really want to rate them.
Don't want to rate tournament players?
No, Supernova. Someone said Supernova's live. I don't really like them. Them fellas kind of weird. Yeah, there's a couple live. I don't know. I'll let you pick.
I'll let me pick. Oh no, this is a big responsibility.
You got to pick the responsibility.
This is the scariest thing.
This is terrifying.
You know what I think we should raid? We
No.
should we should yeah, you know. Rhetorical question. We should raid Serpelbot, which if I'm not mistaken back in the first Supernova was part of the Portal versus
Oh,
Mario
yeah, that was
64 show match that
definitely a
took
thing
place.
that you organized.
Yes, that was a thing that happened back in 2023. So I think it could be a fun
All right.
uh raid to give out.
That's funny. Let's do it. Oh, I see Red Slim. Nice. In chat. All right, boys. Join the raid. You get channel points, which we will be using to channel point bet. We love predictions over here. We love gambling. So definitely save up those channel points. Bet on your favorite runners. And yeah. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Okay, that should be a raid.